North Carolina, key swing state in 2024, is going to be removing 747,000 people from their rolls. It's done, which is curious because were they on there in 2020, the most safe and secure election in American history that was never found to be fraudulent or problematic at all in any court of law? As they tell us, well, it's weird. Were some of those people on the ballots back then? Is this a problem that is more systemic than just in North Carolina? Yeah, obviously. We're glad that North Carolina is cleaning up their rolls, but here's what it sounds like. Almost 1 million people have been removed from its registered voters in the last 20 months. Oh my gosh, okay, that's like more than the state of Wyoming. The State Board of Elections in the release said the majority of those stripped from the rolls were deemed ineligible because they had moved within the state and did not register their new address, or because they didn't participate in the past 2 elections, prompting inactive status there. Now, other reasons for removal: death, felony convictions, out-of-state moves, personal requests for removal as well. So just think about that number. If those people are on the ballot and maybe they had requested a mail-in ballot on the rolls, maybe they're getting extra ballots. And that has happened to me personally, right? I've gotten ballots from other people who lived at the residence where I was residing, coming to me. So I got my ballot and their ballot because they think that there's multiple people living at that residence. They're not. The State Board of Elections in the release said the majority of those stripped from the rolls were deemed ineligible for those reasons. Now, other reasons were death. North Carolina is one of the swing states likely to decide the election. And even if it's just a small percentage of that, 1%, 2%, that's dispositive when the election is 10,000 vote margins. Only one Democrat in this century, Obama, has won the state, but Harris has been polling close to Trump. The state is also home to a tough gubernatorial contest between Mark Robinson and Josh Stein, the Democrat. Purge comes just weeks after North Carolina Republicans filed a lawsuit that said the state had failed to act on complaints about ineligible voters. In the GOP lawsuit, a Wake County resident in North Carolina claimed the voter registration forms in that county did not include driver's license or social security numbers. And by failing to collect what is required by the law, all right, it's not we just want a bunch of extra stuff just because. No, the law says this because it means our elections have more integrity if we conduct them this way. Republicans also filed the suit. The state has now 7.7 million registered voters. The Hill has reached out to the Carolina State Board for comment. So 7.7 million, 700,000 of those people that were on there are now off the bat. It's insane what that number is. And it's, I'm sure, more problematic than even that in North Carolina. Those are the people that are like, okay, we can definitely get rid of them. Right? There's probably like several buckets, like people we know are absolutely good voters, people we're pretty sure are good voters, people that are like, we really don't know either way, people that are probably not good voters, and then the people that are definitely bad voters. I would bet that 747 number is only that last bucket, right? In other words, they're not considering things that are even questionable. We're going to give the benefit of the doubt, the presumption that you'll vote. So that number is probably like the really bad ones. So it's much bigger than that. And I'm sure that is happening elsewhere. Now, more election news. We were asking about the 2020 election and whether or not we were going to get any more answers from some of this litigation. Newsmax and Smartmatic, you remember one of the ballot collection machine companies, were in litigation. They were on the verge of trial. We were excited about that. But they settled, just like Dominion did with Fox. And so here's the story. Out of Delaware, Newsmax released and reached a confidential settlement with Smartmatic, the vote machine maker that they say rigged the election. The agreement came on the eve of a 4-week jury trial, which we were excited for, with opening statements scheduled to begin September 30th, just a few days from now. Newsmax is pleased to announce it's resolved the litigation brought by Smartmatic through a confidential settlement, so we don't know what that number was. Smartmatic also said it was pleased to have reached the deal. They said lying to the American people has consequences. Smartmatic will not stop until perpetrators are held accountable. And so they're going to continue to sue people. Smartmatic said that Newsmax profited from its false reporting. Trump amplified the report. Smartmatic's machines were only used in LA County, and the county's as blue as it comes. So Newsmax said it had a First Amendment right to report those claims. They said their coverage was minor, but apparently they were seeking 400 to 600 million. Whew. Newsmax had 67 million in assets, so that would have been the end of them. The company's also suing Fox for 2.7 billion. Wild. Yeah, and Dominion I thought was the much bigger one, obviously, and they came out of the gate first and went after Fox, and that resulted in the Tucker departure. But it looks like we're not going to get any litigation out of Smartmatic or Dominion, which is a major problem. Now, the Secret Service is also now asking Trump to move his Wisconsin rally. A lot of people are pointing to this as election interference. Secret Service saying, we can't protect you, so maybe you shouldn't go out golfing, or you shouldn't go out to rallies anymore, and you should just stay at home or report yourself to federal custody. But the Secret Service now apparently doesn't have the staff they need. Trump and the campaign scrapped plans for an upcoming outdoor rally in Wisconsin. The Secret Service said, we don't have the personnel to handle this. Sorry, can't do it. The rally was set to take place at an airport on Saturday. Trump instead will deliver the remarks in an indoor arena in Wisconsin. The Secret Service said it was shorthanded due to ongoing annual meeting of the UN. The service is responsible for providing security to foreign dignitaries while they're there. And the people planning for the Wisconsin rally said they never configured to provide such an elevated level of protection for all of these people. Probably should give them more money. The official was granted anonymity because they were not authorized to speak to the media. Our personnel and our equipment are being pushed to the limits to sustain the current operational tempo, says the $3 billion agency. This proposed Wisconsin event also took place during the UN, and we're so busy over there. The change in venue comes after the Secret Service ramped up protection for Trump. Like, I'm happy that they're not putting him out there in risky positions. That's a good thing. Rather than having their lowest common denominator agents trying to establish a defense plan that fails. Agency leaders have implored Congress to provide more funding and resources to the failed agency. In addition to protection for foreign leaders, the Secret Service is also safe with safeguarding Joe Biden, which nobody even cares about. Former President Trump also got heightened levels of security, and we'll see if the Secret Service is able to figure it out, but don't hold your breath.